What's happening, Panda Nation? Peter from Panda here. Is this burger possible? If you've been a fan of my channel for a while, you've known that I try to get the Impossible Burger wherever I can. It is a plant-based burger patty by the Impossible Food Company, and it is made with heme, which I always feel like sounds like hemoglobin. And I guess it kind of looks like that. It's kind of red and whatnot. And I've always been really impressed with them, but they've generally been only available in sit-down restaurants, like Wahlburgers has them and Kuma's Burgers has them and things like that. And so you haven't been able to get them, one, either to grill at home, or two, at fast food places until now. So Burger King piloted it in St. Louis, I believe, and then rolled it out nationwide. Now, I don't know that it's a permanent thing. It's a test. And on top of that, I think the Impossible Company did some interesting things with the meat so that it would be able to go through the flame broiler and then also not fall apart kind of when it gets dropped into the pan. So I have the Impossible Whopper here. Looks just like a regular Whopper, sesame seed bun, and always gets kind of smashed in transit. But we have that and the mayo and the lettuce stuck on there. We have the tomatoes and the onions. But what I'm most interested in right now is that Impossible Whopper meat. And it looks pretty good. I would say you probably can't tell just by looking at it there. Maybe the edge is just slightly crisper than kind of the more irregular edges of a meat burger. But I'm just gonna cut this sucker open here. Let's take a peek. And that is what it looks like. Let's get way in on that. And I would say that at this point, color-wise, it looks pretty good. And in fact, we've got maybe a little bit of that pink where you can see the heme. The heme looks like it's red to me in general, you know, before it gets cooked. But I would say the sinew-like texture of the meat maybe is just a little bit of a telltale sign that it's not real meat. But I think if you weren't told, you would be hard-pressed to think this wasn't meat. You know, there's some pieces of, you know, whatever. I don't know what they use, soy, vegetables. And then maybe also you don't quite have these little negative spaces, the vacuum little open spaces in burgers as much. I think they kind of compress a little, and the fat kind of renders it all together, I think. So what do we think about this? Let's try it. All right, so I've always been a fan of the Whopper. Probably between the Whopper and the Big Mac, two of my favorite sandwiches ever. Again, I know I'm eating an Impossible Burger, so you've got a little bit of that subconscious in your mind playing tricks on you. There might just be the hint of difference over the meat-based burger. But I think if you were to get this and taste the smokiness of the meat, or the patty, I should say, it wouldn't really dawn on you that it's not meat. Now, I would say it's probably just not as juicy as a real hamburger patty, and kind of that spicy smokiness is maybe more pronounced. And that might be the way it interacts with the actual flame of the flame broiler. But it's pretty darn good. And I guess, I don't know that it's less calories than meat, but I'm sure it's less fat and a variety of things that are probably better for you. So I guess to me, if this were an option permanently, and it was just slightly even more expensive than the meat patty, I would eat this. I mean, I think it tastes great. And it's so close now that to me, even though I like red meat and I love red meat, this gives me the same experience without maybe as much of kind of the mental anguish about eating healthy. Now, I will say that I think it was slightly more expensive. It might have been $1 more expensive than the original Whopper, but I think at that price point, now you're starting to make sense economically. And for a lot of us that are, you know, pinching pennies, eating healthy just can't be a lot more expensive than eating unhealthy, because then a lot of us just have economics to worry about. But when you make something like this, really convenient, tastes really good, and is virtually the same price as the alternative, I think a lot of people will try this. I think when they do, they will be pleasantly surprised with it and probably order a lot. So I really hope Burger King continues to offer this. I would love to see other fast food places offer this in like all of their sandwiches. I would love to try a Big Mac with the Impossible patties, and I would also love to see the patties make it into your local grocer so that you could make these suckers at home too. So pretty good. I'm going to finish this thing. It's research here at the Panda Research Institute for you. Hey, the Impossible Whopper. It is possible. Check it out. I'll put a link to Burger King stuff in the description below. Peter from Panda. Out.